Good afternoon, my friends. Did I have you worried? 2 minutes after 2. Moving a little bit today from one thing to another, but so glad to be here. So glad. This daily reunion of self and virtual reality and my imaginations about you. My thoughts about you and who you are. I know it changes from event to event. I'm Pastor Lou Kilgore. That's one constant on this pastor's chat. Usually around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on weekdays, I'm here to engage in a thought process, a conversation, if you will, with the empty chair, but the chair full of, on some days, 25, some days 30 people, and some days more, between the restream that happens on YouTube and then also on Facebook. Some of you are here every day. Some of you are here once in a while. Some of you come and just dip your toe in and see what's going on. But you're welcome. You're welcome to come and be a part of this journey, of this conversation. It's just one big conversation. Yesterday, I started to share with you a thought process that's been going on for me. And another part of it came up today. I don't think I was very clear with what was going on, in that science is not objective. Science is full of humility and always has to be ready to change. The science process of understanding says we know for now, until somebody else comes along and explains it to us differently. There's always that open-endedness. You know, you have the hypothesis, and then, excuse me for a minute, I have to shut my phone off. Apologize, I usually have my phone silenced, but I had been waiting for an important call, so the call came and went, I didn't turn my phone off. Science, in some ways, works with facts. And they talk about sort of objective learning and in the facts of life and science and all that. But to me, science is not facts. Science is always ready to be discarding the facts of yesterday for what's new today. And church, faith, the journey of faith, is often thought of, and I can't get past it. You know, there's Karl Barth's big treatise is called Church Dogmatics. And the church record from the Roman churches from the 3rd century all the way through is full of its dogmatics. These are the things that are dogmatically clear, and they must be taught because they are the sure bedrocks of certainty. And that's that basis on which what? Gives rise to what? To faith? No. Faith is the substance of things unseen. That's a quote from the Bible. Faith is the sure and certain hope. Those words don't often go together. Sure and certain hope. There's nothing really sure or certain or dogmatic about this life, about this Christian faith, about this walk with God. It's an adventure. It's in a messy, messy time, in some stage of the creation. The ancients said that God talked to Abram and Sarah and said, hey, everybody is involved in all kinds of self-centeredness and brokenness and all kinds of stuff. That wasn't my plan for this world. So will you walk with me? Just walk with me. Let's walk together. Let's go. Let's travel together. Thus, the beginning of faith is about relationship. It's about relationship with God. It's about relationship with each other. Walk with me, I'll walk with you. There is the promise, the core of our faith. It offers very, very few dogmatics. It offers very, very few certainties. And I think in some ways that's what, when you go into the advanced sciences, the invitation is, come walk with me. We'll explore this world and we'll find out what we thought was true today is not true and what's... So what it boils down to for me is, since March, there's been a lot of uncertainty. I guess that's a good word for it. I don't know. It's not really anxiety, it's just uncertainty. I don't know. I told you, my father said, stop saying I don't know. But I don't know. And I got into a kind of a rhythm from May and June in things that I do. Kind of got a mastery, I shouldn't say it, but a mastery of a kind of online gatherings and how to get used to preaching, doing hymns and stuff, and hoping that people are watching and getting something out of it. I have no idea what it's like in people's homes. Do you sing the hymns that we put on there because we want to inspire you, or just let them sing? I don't know. But there was a kind of a level place that was it was nice. It's hard work, but it was nice. And this chat, I don't really know where the inspiration came from to do this, but I really enjoy this. And I think it's talking with you. I don't think it's just talking with me. I think it is talking with you. Ever since I was a child, I love roller coasters. I love roller coasters. My favorite is still, with all the big loops and... Oh, where's my 210 yawn? With all the loops and upside downs and droops and everything, my favorite are the wooden roller coasters. There's still one in Great Adventure called Rolling Thunder. And I think the one on Coney Island is still there. And I love roller coasters. And my wife says to me, no way, I'm not going on them. And I know that for her, the possibility of everything bad happening looms large when you're on a roller coaster. For me, it's exactly the opposite. On a roller coaster, there's a track set. The track is set. The wheels are locked into the track. And yeah, it feels wild and unpredictable. It feels unpredictable, but it's not. Every move has been calculated and measured in terms of the G-force on your body this way and that way. And so in the middle of my fear of a roller coaster ride, I relax. And I do get afraid, but I relax. Course is set. Now, in some deeper place in my life, I am aware that sometimes the cars come off the track and sometimes bad things happen. Almost never. So, I indulge. I take a roller coaster because the track is set. Because it is a defined experience. And it's full of excitement. This is not like that. This past week, this hurricane early in the hurricane season, this pandemic, which I still am going to say it right out. I don't feel safe. And I think it's wise to protect yourself and to stay inside. I do. Partly because my level of exposure personally is up right now. There are 25 families And then you think about the families and all their connections to all the families that are finding a center in bringing their children to the daycare center and preschool center so that the families can go to work and pay their rent, especially now that the subsidy from the government seems to be at least discontinued for a while. So important. My exposure, I go there, I'm the director of the center. I must be present for a significant period of time, and I am, and getting to know the children and their parents, and every place. I mean, I have masks on, I wash my hands all the time, but I am exposed into a world that I am convinced still has the virus, and we know it, it's here, still in New Jersey. Franklin Lakes had 6 new cases in the past week. This is not a roller coaster. This is not a roller coaster. And as I keep thinking about this, I will eventually find my way back to the connection between that roller coaster image and this thing about the religious life claiming dogmatics and acting as if it has dogmatic truth. And the scientific life admitting that it doesn't have dogmatic truth, that it has had to discard time and time and time again, and has had to discard ideas that once were thought to be true. And discarding ideas that once were thought to be true does not make science false. It actually improves its credibility. I think about my little friend Evan, who's a member of the church here, and his love of the planetary system. And I was told emphatically, we memorized it, we built models of it, we knew, we'd never seen them with our own eyes, we knew there were 9 planets. 9. We could name them all. We could draw them all if we had to. We knew kind of the representation of what they looked like. The rings of Saturn. It's all changed. The number, the size, the position, the color, ideas about them, it's all different. Because science is ever pursuing, in its humility, a recognition that the facts we have in front of us are only for now. And the best faith, the best example of faith, has a very similar core at its heart. We cannot be dogmatic. We are not God. And we have not received a revelation from God that is clear and unaffected by our human distortions. We have not. It's impossible. So, the journey of faith, to walk with God, not to pretend that we don't know anything. In my orientation classes for Presbyterian church membership, if people want to join a church, you can certainly join this church and put your name on the sign, and you're in the club, and you're on the list, and all the rest of it. But one of the things I say, people ask, what do Presbyterians believe? And I think that when you want to know what Presbyterians believe, you have to ask a Presbyterian today. You can look we have collected books, confessions. You can see what we believed in 1978. You can see what we collectively said we believed at the end of World War II. You can see what we believed in the Middle Ages. You can see what we believed. We have record of what we have believed. But when you want to know what do we believe today, you have to ask a Presbyterian today, what do you believe? Because we are like the scientists. We walk in humility. And the very same words that gave us confidence years ago, we look at now and we understand that we were mistaken about those things. So I always say in my classes, here's what Presbyterians believe for now. For now, until more revelation comes along, until new light is learned. It's incredibly humiliating. May not be the right word. It's incredibly humbling to be on this journey with God. And to want an experience of take me on the roller coaster, on the fixed ride, so that I can have the exhilaration of being up and down and in and out, but knowing always, God, that you have the course laid out for us. 2020 is a year. I know I'm not alone in this. I'm not. 2020 is a year that is stirring our awareness that there are ups and downs, there are ins and outs, there are hurricanes that are coming and going. There's a pandemic that's coming and going, causing reactions that then cause reactions of economic disparity and economic depression. The good news is it seems like the wealthy are doing fine in trying to weather the effects of the pandemic, but the poor are suffering like never before. Food shortages are upon us now. And the church is not physically in the same building, which is usually what we do to build our strength together, to say, all right, we're in this together. I've heard that said ever since this pandemic started, and I've never really believed it. We're not in this together. We're not. We are each on our own individual journey of discovering in humility that we don't really know an awful lot. And that sometimes there are big movements that take place around us that will affect our lives and the lives of our families and our futures together. And I'm not talking about fear. I'm talking about a truthiness to what the journey is like. I guess it's stage 2 in this conversation, right? It's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. Wow. I just lost a day. Well, I found it again. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through this week and this conversation about certainty and uncertainty and the future and the past and how are you today? Sometimes there are no words. That's very rarely true for me. Words. But today, we'll just end the conversation by saying, it's a journey. It's a journey filled with more uncertainty today than I've experienced in a long time. I pray that God makes God's presence known to you in the uncertainty, and that you feel that hand in your hand and your hand in the hand of God as you take every step, every day through this experience. Leaning on what you can and what you know, fully aware that the time may be now for you to know something different or to know it differently, but above everything else to know that God is walking with us on this journey, with us, experiencing every day, every hour, every uncertainty, with us as well. And I with you, you with me, journeying together to this Wednesday and onward to tomorrow, Thursday. Thank you, my friends. Don't hesitate to send me comments, words, revlouis@aol.com. I love to hear from you. I'll write back to you. It closes the gap a little bit of uncertainty about where you are. I like to hear it if it lands for you. If you're where I am, that's good. If you're not, throw me a rope. And we'll talk some more tomorrow. God bless you, my friends. Thank you.